Freelancing can be a very daunting way to earn money. Maybe you're a recent graduate, maybe you're about to start freelancing, or maybe you're considering it as a career move. In this series of videos, we're going to be looking at 5 key areas of freelancing. Running yourself as a business of one, where do you find work and how do you conduct yourself on social media? How do you set your rates? What do you charge? Invoicing, how do you set them up, and what's the other key paperwork that you need? Lastly, we'll be talking about tax. So learn from my experiences, get some useful tips and tricks that you can use right away to have a much better experience as a freelancer. Welcome to my Freelance Survival series. Okay, so you're a brand of one. You've got that mentality, you're ready to go, your equipment's sorted, you got spreadsheets waiting for everything, you're all ready to freelance. So where's the work come from? Okay, you got to sell yourself. I mean that in the most positive way, but in the end, you are a brand. So you need to market yourself. So you need to put yourself out there. There's no point in making films, taking pictures and creating graphics and leaving them on your hard drive. You've got to start to get confident in putting your work out there. Be embarrassed, get it wrong, be told you're rubbish. That's just someone else's opinion. But for every time you'll be told that, you'll get a positive opinion. But only if you're putting stuff out there and looking for it and going out. The main thing you cannot do is just sit there and wait for the phone to call, wait for the email to come in, because it is just not going to happen. So you're a brand. You need to begin to sell. Where are you going to do that? You have the internet. There's plenty of places. Put your work out on platforms such as Instagram, Twitter. Get your opinions out there when it comes to the industry. If you're a camera operator, there's a new camera that's just been released every 5 minutes. What do you think about it? How's that going to affect what you do? Let people know. Are you a graphics designer? What are the most important graphics to you? What's the latest movie poster that excites you? What's the latest, GIF, TikTok? I don't know, different stuff. There's so much. What interests you? Start to use Twitter as a platform to let employers know and clients know who you are, what you're about, what do you like, because it gives them a sense of who it is they're going to hire. If your Twitter is full of negativity, complaining, frustration, you are going to be perceived as a negative person who's going to complain and be very frustrating to work with. So you need to think about that. You really need to channel and change your mentality in that way. LinkedIn's a great place to network. The SoundCloud for those of you doing audio stuff. And of course, there's Vimeo, YouTube. Put your work out here on different video platforms. I know plenty of people whose careers have started through or been kickstarted through being daily pics on Vimeo. The only way you get that is by putting work up there and pushing it. For this channel itself, for me, the only way it's going to grow is if I keep putting content out there, keep putting engaging content that people want to watch. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying different things with every single video. There's something different going on, but I'm putting it out there. I'm utilizing the equipment I have to try things, to raise my exposure so that people might engage and hire me. Now, yeah, I have had a couple of jobs where people have seen my website and they've emailed me and a film's come out of it, a job's come out of it, but it's rare. Most of my work came from ringing people, from picking up the phone, ringing different production companies. I'd spend days researching, finding them, find out who the person to contact, find people when it comes to corporate clients, find the production managers, the assistants. Sometimes someone's looking to step up. Try and find those people, contact them, and they might be wanting to step up with a crew of their own into a producer role. That's the investigation you need to do, and start talking to people and go to networking sessions and meet these people and discuss these things with them. There'll be virtual networking sessions, I'm sure, but it's really important to have that brand and persona out there on social media and yourself. And really the key thing to finding work is going out and being active. It is not a passive thing at all. Plus, I often found as a freelancer, the person hired was the person top of the pile, the latest person. I would get jobs regularly with one company, then perhaps either I've been ill or I went on holiday or I got a job with another company, and all of a sudden that work would drop down because when there was some obstacle for me working for a company, they rung up the next person they had. Then that was just the first person in front of them, and they were working with them. And I often found my time as a freelancer would swing between different companies, and I'd do a month of similar jobs with one company that would move on naturally as things come and go, especially as some companies might be filming for a few weeks and then they're just in post-production, and you get into the groove of another company and it comes back and forth. And that's kind of what freelancing's all about, and you need to be comfortable in that organic nature of this type of work. And if you're not, you either need to find ways to manage that or perhaps consider working in a different way. Perhaps freelance isn't for you. It's important to have a portfolio. It's important to have a website. If you've got a website, leave a link in the comments so people can see it. Here, I can see it. I'd like to engage with people and see what the different work people are doing and the different ways people promote themselves. Also think that if you needed to hire someone, where would you look to hire someone? Put yourself in the seat of the client, the employer. Where would you go? If it's for a role I'm not too familiar with, I'd probably do a Google search. I'd probably start looking on social media, on Instagram, start doing searches there and on Twitter. But I definitely know the first place I'll always ask is the people I know. I'd ask colleagues. Word of mouth was a big part in how I found work. And that's from people I met at university, networking sessions, friends that part of my network that just grew the longer I was in London or in this industry and working as a freelancer. Because in the end, if I can't do a job, I still want to keep you as a client. So I'm going to suggest someone, because I don't want it to go off to someone completely new. So I'm going to suggest someone, but that someone needs to be really good because they need to reflect on me. Because if they're not very good, that reflects poor judgment on me. So I'd be suggesting the best people I know, not someone rubbish to make sure they came back to me afterwards. No, if I did that, I'm definitely not getting more work. I would suggest people who I either considered as good as me or better than me. I'd still find I'd get more work because in the end they'd go off and work with their other clients. And as I said, it's an organic way of things happening. You can't be too fearful in that way and too protective, and help each other out. You know plenty of people, hopefully. Maybe you don't in this industry. If you don't know many people, one of the first things you really need to do is go out and try and find other people doing and try and do what you do. But most recommendations come from a colleague or someone who knows someone. And that's why it's important to keep flooding inboxes and people in the industry with your work and with you. I started a newsletter when I was a freelancer and made sure that went out to people, and they could unsubscribe if they didn't want it, but it flooded them with the new projects, different stuff was going on, reminded them of the rate, how they can hire me. At one point, it even had a calendar of my availability when I was really busy on there, so people could see when I was available and they could hire me. Those are the different things you can do. Back in the early days, I did a direct marketing campaign where a postcard and a DVD of my showreel went out to tons of production companies in London. I think I did it with like 30 or 40. One company got in contact. But in the end, that one company gave me so much work during my time as a freelancer, it was worth it. But sometimes it takes canvassing 40 companies and trying to contact 40 different companies and 40 different people to get one day's work, to get one client. But then that can snowball. And that's just a reality of freelancing and looking for work in the creative industries. If you're posting stuff on Twitter, try posting it on a blog on your website and then linking to it on your Twitter so you bring people to your website so they can discover more things about you. And write about each other. Get testimonials from each other. Ask your clients to do testimonials. That's one of the great things about LinkedIn is all the testimonials you can get. It really is important that people feel confident. And we are in a society that relies on kind of reviews. You will buy something on Amazon because it's got a 5-star review. You won't buy the thing that's got 1 star. But do you know who's written all those reviews? Have you read all those reviews? Could they be fake? We live in a culture that's based upon that kind of method of thinking and content. So getting testimonials from your clients and from other people who know you is really important, can really set you apart on your website and places like LinkedIn. So it's really worth investing the time in each other to help each other out. There's loads of websites out there you can use, which are portfolio ones. There's different ones for the film industry. I'm not going to name names. I found the majority of them pretty useless. Often they're behind paywalls, and yeah, there's some great networking. There may be job opportunities on there, but in the end, a lot of them are low paid or no pay and chances. And in the end, I kind of felt like I never made the money back from subscribing to those websites. And again, it's this mentality of, right, I'm going to get membership on that. I've built my profile. I've made it look great. Sit back. The work is coming. Nope. You've got to be active. You've got to work for it. You've got to be chasing work. You can't just sit there and chill out and hope that all this stuff's going to happen. No chance. And those websites for me were the breeding ground of that, of you pay a subscription so you feel like you should be getting something back, but it's very gym membership. You've got to be active. If you are going to use those things, you've got to really use them and invest time in them, but do be wary about them. But lastly, in the end, it really is just about getting yourself out there, and there's many ways you can do that. You can write articles, you can approach companies, you can contact companies and say, can I review your whatever? I once did a couple of articles for a battery manufacturer. Well, for the marketing company that was marketing the overall company that owned this battery manufacturer, I did a couple of articles for them, and people saw them. Some people in trade shows were like, "You're the guy who got really excited about those batteries," and that helped. That meant I had an in with someone. I could chat to them and network. And I approached different companies about different films I've worked on. I've been given free equipment that I need to review, that I've used on films, that I then reviewed. That article then gets put out there. People start to know your name. Plus, you get the benefits of the equipment. So start considering that. Start getting your name out there in different ways than just a portfolio website. Submit to competitions, especially ones that don't cost you to use. It's a great way to challenge yourself, to give you some focus and give you that purpose. Like I was saying, on the days when you're not working for a client, make sure you're doing something. Competition work is a great thing to do, as well as making that stock footage, which again can help you get found. Stock footage, images, you know what I mean, all the different stuff within sound, stock audio, it all is the same thing. It's all about you getting off your butt and doing something. Tweet about your work, and lastly, when you can, give business cards to everyone, because there will be a situation where someone is asked to find someone. They quickly look on their desk. It might be your business card on that desk. That's the one they pick up. You're the person they call. You get the work. You have to be active. You have to go looking for work. You need to email people, and you need to ring them up with a follow-on call. It's unavoidable. You just can't be passive. I think I've said it a million times, but it's because I really just want you to realize it is just not going to work as a career for you if you're just going to sit there and just be annoyed that no one's hiring you. You've got to be active. And if on a portfolio website you've got someone messaging you offering their services, don't get annoyed at them. They're doing what you should be doing. If they're messaging you, why aren't you message them back offering your services? Why aren't you messaging everyone out there? They all may be doing the exact same thing as you, but maybe as a sound designer, but they might not do specifically what you do. Maybe they don't compose music, and actually they realize they need someone to compose music. But really, you've got to remove that barrier of being afraid of rejection and just get stuff out there. Because in the end, no one's going to ban you from the industry. No one's going to ban you from ever working. Unless you commit a crime or really mistreat people, which I doubt is what you're going to do. The worst thing that's going to happen, someone's just not going to respond to you. So it's just important to remember that. Put yourself out there. A lot of these people you're emailing, it's their job to find the people doing what you're doing. So they're delighted. So do bear that in mind. I hope this video has been useful for you. I'm sorry there's no golden ticket here. Here's where the work is. It just doesn't exist. But with a mentality change, with a great attitude, you can go out and find it. So subscribe to the channel, give me a like, and most importantly, engage in the comments. Let me know what you're doing to find work. Let me know what's gone right, what's gone wrong, and let me know what you've learned from this video. And I'll see you in the next one.